A little fisherman and a shark. In a beautiful seaside town, there lived a young fisherman named Liam. He lost his parents when he was small. The villagers helped him grow up. Later, he learned fishing from an old fisherman named George. Liam was not very old, but he was smart and brave. He loved the sea and respected it very much. The first morning light shone on the sea. The water sparkled. Liam did the same thing as always. He rowed his old, small boat and went fishing with George. The boat moved slowly on the calm sea. Liam felt very happy. He hummed a little song while he neatly fixed his fishing net. Suddenly, the boat shook hard. It felt like something big had hit it. Liam lost his balance and almost fell into the sea. George was also surprised by this sudden shock. He frowned and said loudly, "Liam, be careful. Maybe we hit something big." Liam stood up and quickly ran to the side of the boat to look. He opened his eyes wide. There was a deep scratch on the side of the boat, and under the water, a huge dark shape appeared and disappeared. It had a big body and a triangular fin on its back. It was clearly a shark. Liam's heart beat fast and loud. He had heard that sharks were fierce, but he had never seen one before. George's face also became very serious. He knew how dangerous sharks could be. He shouted to Liam, "Liam, don't panic. Put away the fishing net first. Let's row back slowly. Try not to make it angry." Liam nodded and did as he was told. He held back his fear and started pulling in the net with all his strength. But the net was full of fish and very heavy. Liam worked hard and finally got it on board. Just then, the shark seemed to notice the movement on the boat. It started to swim slowly around the boat, getting closer and closer. Liam could clearly see the shark's very sharp teeth. They shone coldly in the sunlight, as if they could tear anything apart easily. The shark's eyes were cold and fierce, staring hard at the two men on the boat. Liam's legs began to shake without him wanting them to. He was very scared. He thought to himself, "What do we do now? Will the shark eat us?" Suddenly, the shark sped up and rushed straight at the boat. Bang! A loud crash. The boat shook wildly. Liam and George held on to the sides of the boat tightly so they wouldn't fall into the water. George looked at the shark and took a deep breath. He said to Liam, "Son, we can't just wait here and do nothing. Go to the cabin and get the harpoon. We must defend ourselves." Liam gritted his teeth and gathered his courage. He moved carefully to the cabin, picked up the harpoon, and came back to the deck. His palms were all sweaty now. The harpoon felt very heavy in his hands. The shark attacked again. It was heading right for Liam. Liam saw the shark's huge mouth coming at him fast. His mind went blank. He had only one thought: it must not bite me. At that very moment, Liam used all his strength. He raised the harpoon and stabbed at the shark. Thud. The harpoon hit the shark's back. But the shark became like an angry monster. It thrashed wildly. It swung its tail hard. The harpoon came out. Liam was also knocked down on the deck by the strong force. George quickly ran over and helped Liam up. He said anxiously, "We can't go on like this. We need to find another way." Liam looked up and looked around. Suddenly, he saw a barrel of spare fuel on the boat. Liam's eyes lit up. He had an idea. He quickly said to George, "George, let's pour the fuel into the sea and light it on fire. Maybe we can scare the shark away." George thought for a moment. He thought this was the only good idea they had. He nodded and said, "Okay, let's do it. But be careful. Don't let the fire burn us." The two men carefully poured the fuel into the sea near the boat. Liam took out a lighter and lit a piece of cloth. Then he threw it onto the fuel. Whoosh! A big fire burst up on the sea right away. The flames spread quickly and turned the water all red. The shark was scared by the sudden fire. It stopped attacking and swam around outside the flames. There was a little fear in its eyes. Liam and George took this chance and rowed as hard as they could towards the shore. Liam rowed and kept his eyes on the shark nervously, afraid that it would chase them again. The shark didn't seem to give up. It followed closely behind the flames, sometimes trying to come nearer. Just when the boat was still some distance from the shore, a strong wind suddenly blew. The wind pushed the flames towards the boat, and the fire spread quickly. Liam and George were horrified to find that the boat was surrounded by fire. George shouted Liam put out the fire. Liam grabbed a bucket on the boat and scooped up water as fast as he could. But the fire was too big, and a little water was not enough. At this critical moment, the shark suddenly turned around and swam away. Liam and George didn't have time to think about it. They focused all their attention on the fire in front of them. Luckily, the wind slowly died down, and the flames gradually went out. The two men let out a long breath of relief and continued rowing towards the shore. When the boat finally reached the shore, Liam and George were so tired they fell on the sand. They looked at each other, all messy and worn out, and couldn't help but smile. This experience made Liam truly understand how dangerous and mysterious the sea could be. From that day on, Liam still went out to fish. But he became more careful. He knew that on this huge and endless sea, there were still many unknown challenges waiting for him. And his scary encounter with the shark became a legendary story that people in the town told again and again. It inspired every child to face difficulties bravely and to respect the power of nature.